Alright, well, welcome to another Gimme Seconds video. This is Ono checking in. Tomb Raider. Yep. So, hope you enjoyed the last 7 videos. This would be the 8th and final one for this series that I recorded. Just to point out that the first 7 videos were the PS3 version of Tomb Raider. And so these last 7, including this final video, was the PS4 release, the definitive edition Tomb Raider. So you might notice that it's a little bit, the graphics are a little bit more crisp, a little bit more sharp. I did record in 720 though, so that's still the same. But yeah, if you notice a little bit difference in the look of the actual video and quality, yeah, that's why. So yeah, this would be the second time I completed the Tomb Raider game. Let's see. Oh, and the reason I recorded in through the PS4 version was because I was having problems with recording to my Elgato on the PS3 version. I couldn't get it to work, so I just had to get the new copy. And originally, the idea was to have this playthrough completed along with Rise of the Tomb Raider, and we'd go straight into Shadow at the time. So that was last year, before that third title was released, and it would have just been like a whole month of just Tomb Raider games. But I don't know if the other guys were feeling it, and it kind of would have been a little rushed. So. And I did have these videos completed and edited last year, and so the thing was just to add commentary, but that was proving to be a little bit difficult, just coming up with things to talk for each video. I can't really wing it. Usually I'd have to have notes or like write things down, but right now I'm winging it, so bear with me. So yeah, I just released the previous 7 videos as just playthroughs, no commentary. So this stage in the game, this boss, the first time took a little while to complete. I just wasn't getting the whole, just getting my rhythm down, just to kind of fight and dodge this boss. This particular title of the Tomb Raider franchise was the first game that I completed, actually. So a little history with my relationship with this franchise. It's not much, actually. I never completed the first original Tomb Raider game on PS1. I did play it though, but my first attempt a long while ago, I didn't get it. I didn't have a PlayStation at the time. It was actually my sister's friend's game that we were playing at, and she tried to explain it to me, and the whole action kind of puzzle game just didn't resonate with me. Up until that point, I think I've only played the PlayStation demo. So you know, that demo that came with the console. That was my only experience with PlayStation games at that point. So, and you know how that first Tomb Raider game starts. She's sliding off a cliff, and if you don't jump at the end, right, you die. So that's just how the game starts. And so after you make that jump, I don't know if there was climbing involved, I don't recall, but I just didn't get it. So frustrated, couldn't get past that part, didn't care for the game. And so I think maybe, I don't know how long it was afterwards that Resident Evil 2 was released on PlayStation. The first one, of course. That my sister got me a PlayStation and that game, so I got to complete. So that was my first game on PlayStation that I played and completed. And so I don't know if it was around that time, maybe sometime afterward, that the second Tomb Raider game came out. So I rented that, took my chance on it. I got a feel for PlayStation games at that point, and it was kind of fun. But I think it might have been too open world, like just a lot of exploring, and so I think I just stuck around Croft Manor. I think there was that stage or a part in the game where you can just explore the mansion, kind of just train. So I just hung out there a lot. So I never completed that game. So and I never attempted any other Tomb Raider game up until I got my PS3 just a few years ago. I got a used one, first generation PS3. It still works. Got it at Best Buy, and so Tomb Raider was the second game I completed on PlayStation 3. The first being, of course, The Last of Us. And so I think a friend gave me that game, The Last of Us, as a Christmas present, and I think, I don't know if that was the reason why I got a PS3. Like, he didn't know I didn't have the console, so completed that fun game and attempted Tomb Raider. And at one point, playing this title, I got frustrated and kind of just stopped for a bit. But I gotta say, no, the mechanics and the gameplay, like, there's a lot of replay value in this game. Like, once I got back into it, it's really fun. Oh, and so this part of the end of the game. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So the first time round, when you're doing that L1, R1, like, repeatedly, like, that didn't, like, catch on. And until it was this point, I think I realized, oh, that was kind of a throwback. So the two guns, you know. Because up until this point, you're just using a bow and arrow. I mean, you got your rifle, you have a pistol, but just one. I gotta pause for these cutscenes.
What's happening? I'm here. You're safe now. It's okay. It's okay. You saved me. I knew you would.
And I think this character makes an appearance in the
Let's get you home.
Spider-Man game too. So. Oh, how convenient. Hey, honey girl, where you stay?
There's Laura. She's got Sam. She did it.
She did him, bro.
I think she's going to be okay.
And shout out to I believe it's Camilla Luddington,
It's over.
who
We can go
voiced Lara Croft
Let's get the hell out of here.
in these 3 prequels, Rise and Shadow, and this one.
I've been so blind, so naive. For years, I resented my father, doubted him like the rest. But he was right about so much. I just wish I could tell him that now. There are so many mysteries that I once dismissed as mere stories, but the line between our myths and truth is fragile.
And shout out to
blurry.
Alyssa
Find answers.
Vikander.
I must understand.
who portrayed Lara Croft in the cinematic release. I believe it was 2018. Yeah, released last year. And basically, I think that movie was just this entire game. You know, same outfit, same kind of theme. They went to the island. She was on that boat.
Don't really know what happened.
But a lot more to the story.
From those wounds and that look in your eyes, I guess I don't want to know.
No spoilers here.
Anyway, we'll be home soon.
And shout out to Angelina Jolie for her portrayal as Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and the sequel, Cradle of Life. Dun, dun, dun. Avengers theme going. A survivor is born. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. See, I was kind of surprised to see how that kind of just ended. I was thinking I was going to see her in the cave already, leading up to that first Tomb Raider. But no, I thought this title of the franchise was amazing. Very fun, very excellent game mechanics. I mean, and I think for me personally, as my introduction and to actually complete the game to this franchise, it's a good title to start at, especially if you're into story. I mean, this is Lara Croft before she was Tomb Raider. Yeah, and a bit of trivia. So when Angelina Jolie, when she did that movie Hackers, alongside Johnny Lee Miller, they were actually married at one point for a few years, and actually it was mentioned that Johnny Lee Miller, who's of course Zero Cool, aka Crash Override, he played the original Tomb Raider, and they'd be at home and he'd be playing it, she'd be watching it, and I don't know if she was in talks already for that role in that first Tomb Raider movie, but I guess when she eventually did pick it up, she was already familiar with who the character was and some of the gameplay, but I don't know if she herself actually played the game. And so, not being a Tomb Raider fan, so I can only imagine what the hype was like when this title was actually announced. And so I'm sure everybody got hyped up, and I've only heard I've only heard I guess bad things about the the other games previous to this and after the second Tomb Raider game that came out. So like, I only got my first PS2 console maybe 2009, and that was actually given to me from a coworker. And so actually the only title that I completed on that console was actually RE4. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever bought any new consoles. Well, me personally, I've never bought a console, except for the PS3 and PS4. My first PlayStation was, my sister bought me that. So it's always been used consoles. Yeah, well, hope you enjoyed these playthroughs. Coming up next, we're going to be doing some of Rise. Be doing some of that, and I'll probably finish that one up with more solo playthroughs, no commentary, and maybe joining in at the end when the credits roll. Yeah, so with this game, I thought it was a great balance of action and puzzles. I didn't have to look up any playthroughs, so this game wasn't that difficult to where I had to rely on the internet and just look stuff up, because I didn't know the answer. I didn't have the answer sway. And so yeah, they're pretty much doable. But I believe this was set on normal, so I might try out one of the more difficult levels in the future. So we'll see. Yeah, well, I ain't got much to say except hope you enjoy these playthroughs. Be sure to like and comment below. Check out the rest of the channel. Gimme Seconds. Check us out on Twitter at Gimme Seconds, and be sure to check out the rest of the guys. Oh, actually, I can mention that that at one point I decided to finish this game up by myself just because just to give the other guys a break from my playthrough. I think they were probably getting a little bit frustrated just watching. But yeah, so I completed it. But be sure to check out those guys. They got some solo playthroughs. I believe Subnautica and some of God of War. Also on the channel. Alright, well, for myself, Ono, tomb yourself. Peace.